store, the regional hospital. So I'm not sure if any of the guards had been medical people prior to that, because a lot of guards either were something else before or after. So but it wasn't a prerequisite.
Different or better for the inmates that had mental health issues.
Was that?
What made this better?
Well, people, professionals here, psychiatrists, psychiatric nurses, and nurses, and occupational health people. Social workers. Most of them were on staff here, but they did have visiting psychiatrists and people like that too.
If you were convicted as being criminally insane, would you come to this?
No, not really. There was another place for those people. Garth, what was that place? Penitentiary. Yeah, penitentiary. So, although there were some people here that probably were never going to leave their,
going there
situation.
Was it a large number of the inmates that had mental health issues?
Well, they say it's a very large number, yes, but a lot of them are not here. Correct. They go back to their institution on medications. It's a large number. I mean, just as it is a very large number in the general population, it's a larger number inside here because these are depressing places. There's a lot of depression and anxiety. So, do what? They work in the general population, like the suicide area, so were they only well, people don't normally roam around. It's controlled just like a prison, Yeah. But they could come down to the gym and they have their open. I'm not overly familiar with the routine on these cell blocks. I imagine they're similar to this that they're now. So, all right. Hope you're enjoying the tour. You're welcome.
All right, you're ready to head outside.
Wheelchair lift.
Oh, there you go. So you can stay here,
Alrighty, you gotta get every video done.
Yeah. Another time for another count.
Yes, it is. Well, yeah.
When you were in prison, did you have the right to refuse to work?
Of course you did, but you did that, you were locked in your cell, everybody else was at work.
Yeah, and you got no money, only $1.
Well, you got your dollar a day.
Like how much do they have to pay to pack a cigarette or a cigarette?
It was similar to outside prices, it's just no tax. I know there isn't tax in the items because they buy them in bulk, but it is very similar to outside prices.
Would, I should ask the lady inside, who would determine whether or not somebody had mental health issues?
So if at your own institution you started to exhibit symptoms, you would come here and there was a staff of psychologists, psychiatrists, nurses, and things like that who would do the same testing you would do outside with you. And if they did deem that you did have a mental health problem, then they would either, give you a treatment plan, medication, send you back to your own institution, or you would become part of the institution here.
Now, when they're put on medication, is it administered to them, or do they have to take it themselves?
It was administered to them. The nurse comes down with a pill cart.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly. Just to ensure that nobody's abusing
Well, a lot of
anything.
them wouldn't take it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Exactly.
what Grace Ford did. Yeah. She went to be in prison.
What do you think they're
Perfect. Alrighty, we'll head on up this way now.
She's gonna tell us.
So as we walk up this way, we're starting to walk towards our last stop on the tour. I do have a story I like to tell because it's my favorite story. So like I said, or we said earlier, KP has had around 36 attempted breakouts. There's only ever been one break-in. And I like to talk about that break-in. It happened in the late 1800s. A young man named Tom Hardy. He was a sailor. He wasn't from Kingston. However, whenever he was in Kingston on the ship he was on, he got in some trouble, and he ended up at Kingston Pen for a few years. Did his sentence, great, was released. This is where the problem started, as Tom didn't know what to do with himself, as he wasn't from the Kingston area. So he went to the bar, he had a few drinks, and after having a few drinks, he thought, well, he might as well just come back to KP, start afresh the next morning, figure out what he was going to do then. So he built himself a grappling hook showing up again, climbed over the wall, grappled his way down, and then went to the main cell block to try to get inside where the beds were. It's locked, it's nighttime. So then Tom went up to the warden's office where he stole 11 shillings, probably figuring, well then, now he can get a bed in a hotel or something. And then went to go back over the wall, however that shoddily made grappling hook broke.
Oh, no.
He was stuck inside. He ended up finding his way to the stables, there were still stables here at the time, and he fell asleep in the hay. The next morning he was found by the officer bringing out the inmates who worked in the stables. He was sentenced to do 6 months in a provincial institution for breaking and entering. And whenever he finished that sentence, he came back to KP yet again, this time asking for the warden. I don't think the warden forgot this guy. It's pretty hard to forget somebody who breaks into an institution. So he invited him up to his office, and all Tom had to say for himself was that he had left his jacket there whenever he was on his escapades, and was wondering if the warden still had it. No, he didn't. He did use that opportunity, however, to give Tom a little bit of a lecture, and actually helped him get a job on another ship to get him out of Kingston. That is the last we ever hear about Tom Hardy. Really makes me wonder what else he got up to in his lifetime, but he does have a soft spot in my heart. So we are coming around the exterior of the hospital now. Just like the RTC was the psychiatric facility for the region, this was the regional hospital. Other institutions had a nurse who was there, till 4 o'clock, 24/7, over here with a full staff of doctors and nurses. You would come here for everything except for major surgeries or if it was an emergency. If you needed a major surgery, you went to your closest hospital with an emergency room. Same if it was an emergency. However, here they could do dialysis, they did dental work, x-rays, all those sorts of things from any institution in Ontario. This building did originally have a surgery in it in the 20th century. However, they decided that it was better just to outsource, and then they could focus on, the pharmacy, things like that. This building actually also had a palliative care unit. We are in an institution that is federal, 2 years plus 1 day. So there are lifers here who have spent their last days within these walls. So this way your family can come and stay with you if that was the case. And kind of an interesting fact to bring us full circle back to the 1800s as we walk out back towards the North Gate again. Back in the 1800s, if you died at KP, your family had 48 hours to collect your body. Side note, don't think that's a fair amount of time for the 1800s. And if you didn't collect it within 48 hours, you were donated to Queen's Medical School. So as we head up this way, I just want to say to you guys, number one, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed yourself and learned something new today. Also, I am going to need your wristbands when we get up to the North Gate where we're exiting, just to prove I didn't lose anyone. If you have any last questions, this is the time. And also, I know a lot of things, if you're not sick of prison yet, the museum across the street is amazing. It's by donation. It's so cool. If you've ever thought to yourself, hey, I want to see a crossbow made out of toothbrushes. You're welcome. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's accurate up to 40 feet. Pretty cool. Wow. So we're going to pop up past Tracy here. Can you do it?
Oh no, I'm alright. I just have a little too much stuff. No, it's alright.
No telling.
When did you put the flashlight on?
When we first built her,
What flashlight?
a mile and a half that way, mile and a half that way, and a mile and a half that way.
Oh yeah, that was road trip last year.
That is one.
He has ones in the front too.
It's 10.
Okay, that's awesome. It has modes.
Hey, I got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you need to push here too?
You gonna push yourself?
I'm taking the Fitbit too. There we go.
There you go.
Alrighty, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go.